All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. The Chelsea news crew is back. As I said, weekly, once a week. The lads, Kishan. Ameya will be joining. He's having some technical difficulties. That's why we were running a bit low. So do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But as like always, you guys are always here supporting. We've already got quite a few people on. Thank you so much. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. And every week, without a fail, Sutasan, I hope I got that right. Tell my name. There you go, Sutasan. Is he declared? Is he yupped up? Is he DH? Is he? And now we've got Ameya. Ameya is here as well. So, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. You are going to enjoy this. We're going to talk about a lot of different Chelsea-related news, Euro edition. So it's going to be very, very good. First of all, Kishan, my man, how you doing?
I'm all good, bro. With the Euros, I'm not too sure. I'd rather have the Chelsea transfer news, if I'm being honest. But I'm looking forward to our England game today. See how that goes for us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everyone wants a piece of the transfer news, man. And the transfer news shows have been doing really well in this channel as well. So to appreciate that, we've got Taha here, big up. We've got Oze, well done, Miz. Thank you so much. Justin's here, man. This is buzzing. We're gonna have a good show. Ameya, my man, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Had a bit of internet issue there, which is why I'm a little bit late, but it's all resolved now, and hopefully it should be seamless from now on. But yeah, looking forward to a great show. Lots to talk about.
Brilliant, my man. Brilliant. All right, guys, let's get straight into this. I do want to start off with something a little bit, I suppose, sad, but at the same time happy, the way it sort of ended out at the end. And the particular news I want to talk about is obviously Christian Eriksen. I'll start with you, Kishan. Man, I was asleep, as we were saying off air. I was asleep and I woke up and my whole timeline was, praying for Eriksen. And there was all these pictures, and then Simon Kaya. I hope I've pronounced that right. Simon Kaya?
Yeah, I think
Kaya. And I was like, what's going on? I had no idea what was happening, right? I thought maybe it was an injury, like a bad injury, and, he had to be forced out. I thought maybe a broken leg or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You know how we see sometimes just legs just snap up. So I had to quickly check and everything. I was like Googling, and then I saw the footage and read up on it, and I was like, oh my God. I would not have been able to handle that live TV. I don't know, for all the people that were watching, I'm pretty sure you guys were probably watching. And the crazy part, I'll start with you, Kishan, as I said, how come they were showing that? That was insane. There'd be kids watching that kind of matches, do you know what I mean? And also privacy for, Eriksen and his family. They were pointing towards his wife or girlfriend, I'm not really sure, and she was crying, and then they were trying to get in on the action as to the CPR and everything. I mean, surely there has to be a point where they go, we're going to cut this because this doesn't need to be telecasted. I mean, talk us through that. Were you watching it, by the way?
I wasn't watching it. I was on a train, actually, so I got the news from a friend who said Eriksen's collapse, and from the commentary that he was giving to me, I actually thought we were waiting for the worst possible news, because the way he was saying it is they're gone off air, not off air, but they kind of moved him to the side. I think they're trying to basically bring him back up. I couldn't believe it, because I thought personally he was gone as well. And the thing with you waking up, Miz, to it is at least you had that side of it where it kind of passed. So the good news, you knew that he'd survived and stuff. That sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes of uncertainty between that part where you think, is he going to make it or is he not? And then there came a point where you're getting pictures that were showing he was conscious and stuff. But even then, that's just like Twitter pictures. You didn't really know what to think. So it was really hard. And I know this shouldn't really make a difference, but because it was Christian Eriksen, it's like the one of their players that everyone absolutely knows. Is the one that everyone knows. So it makes you even more shocked because he's a brilliant player as well.
Yeah.
And he literally just won the league. He's physically fit. And if this can happen to him on the pitch, it's actually quite scary. With the whole footage thing, as I wasn't watching it live, I don't know what they were zooming into and whatever. But from the sounds of it, sounded really bad, and they shouldn't be doing that. The thing with the initial fall is they couldn't really do anything about it. That happened live whilst they were just filming the game. But as soon as he's gone down, after they wait about a few seconds, 30 seconds to know what's going on, they should have just went back to the studio.
Yeah. And then
literally back to like...
There was a really good tweet. I can't remember who said this, that, look, just like you said, Kishan, there would have been some confusion and whatnot, and they didn't know, but eventually they would have known. And then they focused on, like, someone behind in the studio said, focus quickly on Eriksen's wife or girlfriend. I mean, or else the camera wouldn't be going that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I found a bit strange. Well, what are you trying to focus? Like, are you trying to capture her tears? What are you showing us? Like, I don't want to see. I read, like, as I said, I wasn't watching live. Had I seen it live, I don't think I'd be able to handle that. I would have turned it off, and I would have just waited and prayed that, look, I don't want to, I hope he gets through this, because, I can't imagine seeing that kind of footage live. Do you know what I mean? And then, as I said, there probably might have been kids that are watching the match as well. Imagine, what do you tell them? Like, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and literally the point of uncertainty there is, like, you don't know if he's going to make it through. You don't know what's happened to him. It's now in hindsight, people kind of knew at the time, because you wouldn't fall like that and just be completely out of it.
No,
I was hoping
collapsed.
Initially, when you got the news, I was just hoping it was just exhaustion and he just collapsed like that. But it was quite clear from how everyone waved everyone on, and they did really well on the pitch. The Finland players, the referee, and everyone to get the medics on as soon as possible. And it was the difference between life and death. And
100%,
I'm just glad that he made it through that part of it, for sure.
100%. Look, the fear, as I said, as I was telling you guys off air, I don't know if you guys remember live chat. The last time I sort of remember something, obviously, Muamba was the other case, but Sevilla, there was a player, I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was a player in Sevilla quite a few years back, and he collapsed near his goalkeeper as the goalkeeper was about to take a goal kick, and he survived initially, and then 3 days later passed away. Like, that's why I'm still praying. I'm praying that this, he recovers and he does well. But Ameya, I want to talk about, from obviously the captain Simon Kjær and also Christensen. I saw some of the pictures. He was in tears. He was absolutely in tears. He was also one of the few ones who ran up initially with Simon Kjær, and then they created that sort of wall around him. I mean, from a player's perspective as well, that would have been so difficult for them to come back. I mean, what's your thoughts? Like, I know Eriksen did give the thumbs up and continue on and play, but how do you play off the back of that? Like, how do you come back like that? I'm pretty sure Christensen and the rest of the team would have been just shell-shocked.
Absolutely distraught. And I don't know, unfortunately watching it live, and I couldn't even.
You were watching it live, yeah?
I was watching it live,
wow.
And I was literally shivering through it. Like, initially, I wasn't sure what to make of it, right? But then later on, they started getting the defibrillator machine, and then I could see the players crying. And then the cameras were zooming in on the players. I remember Delaney as well, the Dortmund midfielder. He was very distraught, and he was like absolute. Like, you could see him wiping away his tears and stuff. So it was horrifying to watch in real time, but I just can't believe that the players had to see that and then go on and play later on. I know that the UEFA said that it was the players' choice. I know that, but at the same time, I don't know how they managed to pick themselves up, come out to train. And I remember seeing a journalist tweeting that the players were crying when they were doing their warm-up before the match was going to restart as well. So honestly, I don't know how they've gone on with that, but yeah, it was very disheartening to see, and I'm just very glad that he's okay. That's all. I mean, I hope he recovers, makes a full recovery as well, and I hope that he can get back to playing, because honestly, this was like I was in complete shock. I was legitimately shivering for those 15 minutes, like literally. And it's hard, right? Because I remember my mom was just like sitting next to me and watching the game. And today, when I wake up in the morning, she's like,
Yeah.
"Is he all right? Is he all right?" Like, even she feels it so much, and she doesn't even know who the hell the guy is. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know Eriksen, and like the number of times he scored that banger from outside the box against
Oof.
us, right? But yeah, in all honesty, I genuinely hope he makes a full recovery very, very fast, because it was shocking to see, and they had to cut it off. They simply had to. I mean, especially watching it live, I don't want to say it, but the things that they literally showed the shocking machine, that you could see his body being shocked. I don't know if I can say this completely live on YouTube, but it was shocking. It was honestly shocking. And I'm not even comfortable saying it out loud. I don't know what they were thinking broadcasting it, honestly.
Yeah, no. 100% agreed, man. 100% agreed. We've got Adash saying, however, the manager said maybe it was better just to get the game over with as long as Ericsson was fine. Yeah, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is finished.
But honestly,
Yeah.
if like sorry, but like they missed a penalty, and Kasper Schmeichel just let in the easiest goal he's ever let in his entire career. So honestly,
It would have affected.
Oh,
100% it would have.
did they miss a penalty? I mean, I
yeah,
Yeah,
didn't.
they missed a penalty.
Hoiberg
Hoiberg
missed the
missed a
penalty,
penalty.
and that goal as well. Schmeichel, I mean, if that was
I
any other day of the year, he's saving that for
I
sure.
watched that, yeah, because it started at 7:30. I watched it until the Belgium game started. So I saw the goal and I couldn't believe he let that one in. But
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But like you said, when they restarted and the few minutes until like half time, it was only a few minutes, but it felt like a friendly game, because it's like they've just gone through this and everyone's feeling emotional and stuff, and you could see it in the tackles and stuff. Like the Finland players are not going to completely wipe out someone from Denmark on the day that something like that's happened. It had this weird feel to it, but yeah, I can't believe them. It went on, because I got the notification saying the players are going to go on and finish the game at 7:30. And I thought, how are they going to do this? Because
Honestly,
Lukaku in the other game is his teammate as well, and he had to play.
yeah, he was in tears as well, and then we'll get to Lukaku very soon. But I just want to say, you know what? I hope Denmark from here on just absolutely fights for Eriksen, man. They go out there and they pump whoever the other two teams are. I think it's, who is it? Italy and Turkey? Is that the
Turkey.
group?
Yeah.
Is that
Italy and Turkey? I think that's the group, right? Oh no.
No, that's the other group.
I'll
Guys,
check.
live chat.
Turkey has-
Let us know. Let us know what the group was for who Denmark is up against. I'm pretty sure the live chat will beat the boys.
Belgium, Russia.
Oh, Belgium, Russia.
Oh.
Yeah, look, I honestly, Denmark, I hope you beat Belgium and Russia, and you get through somehow. It's going to be tough for sure. To Russia, you should hopefully be able to beat. Belgium will be tough, but let's see what happens. Boys, let's talk about the next news. Romelu Lukaku. Ameya, I'll go to you first up. Man, this guy, what a unbelievable player. The crazy part is, Ameya, there is that small portion, not everyone, there is a small portion that still doubts him, doesn't respect him, still thinks he's not good enough yet. But my days, I mean, he's the Italian champion, banging in goals. We've all seen it. But this one against Russia, I've personally, because I don't get to watch too much Inter Milan games, I just see highlights, right? This one I was tuned in and I was watching. His movement is phenomenal, man. He's getting smarter. He's matured up as well. Left foot finish, which was the first one. Second one, a right foot. I don't even think he is a right footer. He's genuinely a left footer. And that right foot finish was probably much better than the left foot one. But the movement, how he just takes the defender away and then smashes it in with his right foot. I mean, Ameya, if we don't get Haaland, this guy's a must, in my opinion, for Chelsea next season.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, without a doubt. Honestly, I don't even know how anyone can not rate Lukaku at this point, because he's literally the top three strikers in the world. It's Lewandowski, Kane, and Lukaku. I mean, of course,
100%.
Haaland is in the mix as well, but these three guys, they're in their prime. Look, like Lewandowski, probably a little bit over it, but he's still basically in that age group where he's like still in his prime. And Kane as well, without a doubt, and Lukaku is the third one who completes that list. And I don't know how anyone can say no to him, in all honesty. And he is like, this is the perfect time to buy Lukaku, right? In my opinion, at least, because earlier he was young.
He's at his prime.
This is his prime, and he's killed it in the Premier League. He's won the league with Inter Milan. He's worked under so many, tactically, high level of tactical information. Basically, he has that at this point. Worked with Conte now, and will maybe Inzaghi if or hopefully Thomas Tuchel, but maybe Inzaghi next. But 100%. At least we should test the waters. With this Hakimi stuff coming out now, I think that sort of delayed our Lukaku pursuit at the moment. I mean, it's sort of in the balance, but it should be interesting for sure. We should definitely test the waters 100%.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like as I said, if it's not Haaland, it has to be Lukaku. I mean, Kishan, few fans are holding the whole Man United period, that, he couldn't do it there, he wasn't good enough. But when I think about it, it wasn't as if he was utterly bad either. Like, he still scored goals. It's just probably wasn't as prolific as he was maybe in Everton. Even in West Brom, he banged in goals. So I don't get it, man. I mean, why? Do you look at the Man United sort of period too harshly, or do you say, look, that sort of stuff can happen? And let's be honest, man, it was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I'm not really, I'm being honest, man. Not many players have been really buzzing under his management, right? Besides Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, so initially when he left, I did think that of him as well, because he became a bit of a laughing stock at Manchester United. But at the same time, I don't think it was because of the goals. He always had goals in him. It was more so the touch and holding the ball and all that kind of stuff. So we know this kind of stuff with Werner that we have. It was almost on that level. When you ping a ball up to him, he was still getting goals. But you know how we have goals through Tammy last season, whatever, he scored 15 goals for us. But you still look at parts of his game and think, okay, this guy's not it. That's what the problem was with Lukaku. And then he went to Inter Milan and he became it. Like, I think he had a digestive issue, is one of the things he said that was holding him back. And apparently, at Inter Milan, they made like a diet plan really tailored to him and stuff.
Wow.
I think if you look at him, he looks a lot leaner than his time at United. At United, he was chunky. Like that. Come on, I remember a game with Liverpool, and he was standing next to Virgil van Dijk, and he's that one guy that made Van Dijk look fairly normal size. And I was like, oh. It was very weird. But yeah, he had a lot of excess weight at United, and it looks like he's trimmed down, but still has that sort of bulk to him, where nowadays he's so good at holding players off. It's like when he got the ball to feet yesterday and someone comes into it, the first sort of bump he gives them, they go flying like a few centimeters. It gives him space to do what he wants. And yesterday the right foot finish was so good. Like, if you can do that weak foot,
sublime.
We should be all over that if we can't get Haaland. But the thing is with Lukaku, then when we're going for Hakimi, you can never see you signing two players from the same club. It just never happens. So if we were to get Hakimi, I can't see us getting Lukaku. We were linked with Sancho at one point, but you always think if we bought Haaland, we'd never get Haaland and Sancho, because it just never works. So it's an odd one, but you'd have, like, if Haaland didn't come, he'd be the next best alternative. It's at a point where you can't even call him the next best alternative, because he's just that good.
He's that good.
You'd pretty much be equally happy. It's just with Haaland, you see the potential where he's at 20 years old, he could get. But weirdly, Miz, the thing with Haaland is, I know he's got age on his side, but I'd actually argue that if Lukaku came in for us, it's more likely that he'd be our striker for longer. Where like Haaland, you can possibly see him in like 3 or 4 seasons moving on.
He's dirty, isn't it? You get that feeling he's dirty. He's just
especially with Mino Raiola. Like he'll get him signed, and then he'll be looking around to, okay, you've accomplished this at Chelsea. What more do you have to do? I need to make some bucks. Let's go to Real. Whereas Lukaku has been all over the place, and it comes back full circle to where he should be playing his best football.
You know what, Kishan? I've always said it. These sort of players like Lukaku, and I know I'm going to have to drop this name, Declan Rice. Some may like it, some may not. they want to play for Chelsea. That's the thing. Like Declan Rice is literally on a daily basis hanging out with the Chelsea players.
Literally, this is the type of players that you want as well, especially when we've just won a Champions League.
Do.
You want these people to come in hungry and look at it and like, oh, it's good that you guys won. I remember Henry saying this about Arsenal's double winning team. He said, I came in and they'd won the double, and I like the fact that they'd won it, but I wanted to get mine. You need those kind of players that want to be there and get theirs.
100, man. Lukaku is just, and you know what, boys? This is it. I feel like if this opportunity is missed, I don't know when that ever happens, he comes back to Chelsea, because if he misses this out, we're either getting Haaland or Harry Kane. I don't think we'll get Harry Kane. It'll never happen. But it has to be Haaland then. And if we're not getting any, I still don't think we probably might go for him next season. If Haaland is still in the market by then, it will be very much.
It'd be 29. It'd be 29 next year, so it's a bit hard.
It'll be very, very hard. This comment here is really, really good. I like this from Frederick. Thank you so much, Frederick. Frederick's, by the way, Belgium, man. Congratulations to you guys. Really good victory against Russia. Conte made him a more complete striker, ironing out the weaknesses in his game. 100% agreed, man. Antonio Conte, this is the reason why he wanted Lukaku at Chelsea, and we ended up giving him Morata. I can just imagine what it could have been for us, man, had we had Lukaku back then.
There's that thing is where Conte got him for the first 3 months, they say, in training. He pinned that Ranocchia on him. He's like, 90 kilos, and he just had to play 3 months with his back to goal. And that's how he got his hold up play better.
That's it, man. That's it. Look, he's worked a magic on him, and he's praised. Lukaku has praised Conte a lot since Conte has left mutual sort of agreement to leave Inter. We're going to go to the next topic. Live chat. We've got close to 35. Smash the like button. Get it to at least 30 likes straight away if you're enjoying this show. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And my panelists, their socials are in the description. Please go out there and follow them on Twitter. And Ameya's got the YouTube channel, so please subscribe to that channel. Ameya, let's talk about this next topic, which I've been holding back to talk about. And I was hoping to talk about this with you two. The whole Mbappe and Giroud. I mean, what is going on there? I found that quite strange. I actually read up on the whole. A lot of people have been writing articles and whatnot. And Giroud, first of all, I just want to say that's pretty. I've never expected that from Giroud, to be that bold and just be open about it in public and say it. He's apparently been quoted to say, I've made some good runs, and more or less what he was trying to say is that I never got the pass.
He got
the pass was, he got aired. He got aired. He wasn't getting the passes, and he was a bit annoyed by that. Obviously, Mbappe got substituted in that game. He was very annoyed, very frustrated, and we'll talk about that personality factor of Mbappe as well. But Mbappe took that personally when he heard that Giroud did that. And he actually wanted to hold a press conference, angry press conference, and wanted to address that. I mean, Ameya, what? And then obviously we saw next day there was some footage. I think Giroud was trying to hug him at the training ground, and I don't think Mbappe wanted anything to do with it. What's going on, man? What's your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, it's wrong on so many levels. First up, look at the age difference between the two, right? At least beef someone your own age.
But Giroud probably could be his father. Do you know what I mean?
There's so much age difference, and holding press conferences and angry press conferences. I mean, it takes me to like YouTube beef and, boxing and stuff like that. That's just not how it works. I mean, you're professional footballers and you're playing for the same country. I mean, you better act like it. And it's not like Benzema was there all these years either, right? It was basically Giroud who was the leading striker for Deschamps anyway. So frankly, it's a little bit surprising. I mean, I don't know. Probably Giroud meant it in a funny way, that he didn't pass to me and stuff like that. But then Mbappe getting pissed it's quite down to PSG's mentality, honestly. Like I think everyone is at PSG has an ego, and it's so hard to contain that in the dressing room, which is why even Pochettino is finding it so hard. In fact, he did a brilliant job at Spurs. They didn't win anything, but he still did a pretty good job to elevate them to that level in the first place, took them to the Champions League final. And he couldn't do the same with PSG.
And you know what, Ameya? I feel like even to a degree, Tuchel struggled with that. Mbappe, Neymar, just the ego factor. I mean, this is not this is what Tuchel appreciates the current Chelsea team so much, because they play as a team. There's no egos. Everyone goes at their work and they do well. I mean, as great as some are saying Mbappe is a generational player, yeah, he probably is, and he probably will be. But my days, he will never gain that respect if he's acting like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, 100%. He's got to fix up, definitely. I mean, I don't know how he is, off the pitch or whatnot. Obviously, I haven't met him and stuff, but Giroud, just lightening up the mood, guys. Come on. Giroud probably should not have said that. Also, yes, I think professionally, when you're giving an interview, I think you, especially for France, right? You're basically the favorites to win the tournament. You obviously know that everything you say is going to be taken out of context. Every small thing you say is going to be, on the top of every media page and whatnot. So I think he should have been a little bit more careful about that. But honestly, the retaliation and all of that should not have happened. They should have just solved this, privately in the back room and just be like, you know what, it's all cool right now. Let's go and win the tournament. That's all. And that should have been the end of it. Honestly, that should have been the end of it. But hopefully they are chill with each other. Let's see. We'll find out on Tuesday anyway. Let's see how the game goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, Kishan, this commentary from Taha, once again, Giroud should have not have said that. I don't know if he's put himself in a good situation with the rest of the French team. I mean, I know he's banged in a couple of goals. As soon as I think Mbappe was removed, he banged in a couple of goals. I think Didier Deschamps appreciates Giroud. That's why he's still in the team and whatnot. But now with Benzema back as well, obviously he got injured. How much sort of impact he has in the tournament, we'll see. But what's your thoughts, man? Did Giroud really need to say that? Or I feel like this will not go down nicely with the rest of the team.
Yeah, he really should have said that. It escalated this big. Obviously, Mbappe with the thing, he's young and he's got an ego, and if someone who's 34 has come at him holding a press conference, I don't get that. That's really weird. He's that angry that he's like, no, we must have a press conference. So it's such a weird thing, though. Like, this is like what Ameya said. Why can't they sort it out in the background and make things okay? But from the pictures, it looks like things aren't okay. I think they might actually just have to play with a rift with each other, not pass the ball to each other. But yeah.
And Kishan, the crazy part is Benzema probably won't play in their first match, so it'll have to be Giroud and
Mbappe. Let's see a fight on the pitch, and let's see. The thing with these guys is like, you can't really fight Mbappe because he's like the top boy. So I think anyone who goes against him, they're going to be in their own sort of corner. And Giroud is, I know for how good he is, he seems on the edge of that squad where he's not playing for us. So he's just about making it because he's been so good previously. So it'd be an interesting one to see how it pans out, really.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. From a Chelsea point of view, I hope he gets a few goals. How many goals is he
away?
I hope
Giroud breaks the record.
That's what I'm saying. How many? Five away now, because he got 2 more. So I really hope from that perspective. But then again, he may not be a Chelsea player at the end of these Euros. There's AC Milan on the back of him, so he could very well go. All right, let's talk about the next particular topic. Let's talk about Jorginho, because he had a very good game for Italy once again. Kishan, I'll go to you. There is still quite a bit of, I wouldn't say large. There's still a decent amount of, size that don't appreciate Jorginho, right? But in Italy, my days, they absolutely love Jorginho. They praise him to the moons. Gabriel Marcotti, a lot of praise for him. And many other, pundits, Italian, Fabrizio Romano, my days, if you ever heard him talk about Jorginho, the man loves Jorginho so much. I mean, once again, look, he's not eye-catching, but he does this. I don't know if you guys would have seen, Ryan was here yesterday and he explained that role so well, that register sort of, in between the two CBs, allowing more sort of the fullbacks to push up, the wingers to tuck in, and finding those range of passes and whatnot. And especially in England, a lot of people look at him as he's the sideways pass merchant. What does he do? He doesn't do anything. But Kishan, are we at a stage now finally where we can say, nah, man, this is, there's a special player here. You don't just win Europa League, Champions League, beat Italy's one of most important players and not be good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And this is like for myself as well, because if you asked me in January if we were to sell the guy, how I'd feel, I'd probably be indifferent to it. I'd be like, let him go. It's completely fine. And now it's at a point where I want him to stay. I want him to. I think he's got 2 years left, so I'm not sure if he urgently needs a new contract, but I would look towards it because he's been so good for us. And with Italy the other day as well, it's pretty much the same.
I love this comment, man.
Yeah, slightly different, but definitely in terms of concept-wise, Mikel, we didn't know how good he was until he actually went away. Yeah. But like Timothy in the comment said, if his long balls were a little better. See, I think he's got good long balls in him. But Fabregas actually said this the other day, and he goes, one place he can improve is when he gets the ball and he passes it a bit too early sometimes. And that's where the whole short
But I feel like Fabregas is salty, bro. He does not like Fabregas. He does not like Jorginho, bro. He does not like Jorginho.
I always thought that Cesc under Sarri in that role would be amazing when he was getting older. And he would have been amazing at that role. So I do get where he's coming from, because Fabregas is a been there, done that kind of player. So any advice from him?
You know what Fabregas said, right, Kishan? He said, he's the reason I left.
He's the reason I left, yeah. And it's true. It's right, because...
It's true.
Fabregas was playing that role, but only in the Europa League game. So it was a bit... He was too good to fill that in. With Jorginho... Yeah, if he got that in, especially with the kind of players we're linked to, he has got it in his lock as well. We've seen, like, especially in games like Southampton, that ball over the top for Werner where he dinks the goalkeeper and heads it in. That kind of stuff. If he could get that going a bit more, he'd be a lot better. But even in terms of his simple play, I appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
I guess Watford last season.
Yeah. But even now, I just appreciate his simple stuff, because I understand the simple stuff a lot more now than I did a few months ago, where you can see how him and Cover play together. You can see the role he does for like Kante to go and do what he does. So he's so important for us, regardless of who we link to, Rice, Tchouaméni, whoever comes in, we still got to keep this guy. That's the main point. We don't want to sell him.
I love it, man. I love how you said that. Even if, and I've been saying it as well, that if we do need something extra in midfield, but even if we do get that, hopefully we still keep Jorginho.
Because think about it, like even if just say Rice came in on our starting pair was Rice and Kante, if you're winning a game and you want to dictate the tempo a bit more, you stick someone like him on and you just get passes going. We've seen this in some games where I remember Arsenal last season under Frank, where we had no hold of the game. Arsenal were all over us, and he chucked Jorginho on, and that's the way that changed the game. That was one of the only games where he scored an outfield goal, like from not a penalty as well. So. He
didn't really score an outfield goal. It was more of a tap in right in front of it was off the corner.
It wasn't from the spot, Miz. It all counts if it's not from the spot.
It might as well have been, bro. It might as well have been. But yeah, I get
scoring from the spot is hard. Yeah, scoring from the spot is harder than scoring from where he did, but at least it didn't come from the spot.
Now, fair enough. Ameya, look, Italy is one of the I wouldn't say out and out favorites, but I wouldn't even say dark horse either. I think Turkey used to be a dark horse until Italy took care of them. Italy is touted as going deep into this competition. If by chance, let's say Italy end up winning it and Jorginho is one of the key players, we need to, I think everyone just needs to stop. I think everyone needs to say that we are so blessed that we have this sort of player. And even if we do get Declan Rice, well, it will just be rotational basis. Declan Rice is not going to come in and absolutely take over his spot. Is that how you sort of thinking as well?
Yeah, I think especially with Declan Rice and Tchouaméni, both of them are on the younger side, right? It's not like they're in their prime. I think they still have a couple of years to basically reach that level. And Rice himself has in fact said publicly in interviews that he looks up to Jorginho. And so I think
Yeah.
playing with Jorginho, he could really learn a lot of the passing and the positional sort of stuff, because Rice, you know that he's good at defense. You know that he's that guy who can break up counters. You know he's the tall, strong destroyer DM. He has the potential to be, but and his passing range is good as well. But when you learn from someone like Jorginho, it's gonna be. I mean, Jorginho literally he's based his entire career on this, right? Because he's not strong, he's not tall, he's not athletic, none of those characteristics. It's because he has that footballing brain to carry out instructions. It's because he knows what to do before it's even done, right? Which is why sometimes I think he passes the ball too soon, because he's played that pass in his mind over before playing it anyway. So I think that sometimes that's helpful, and I really hope we do keep Jorginho, even if we get a DM. 100%. I think it's not exactly a straight up comparison, but when we sold Matic to Man United and then we signed Bakayoko to replace him, Bakayoko, he was young, inexperienced in the Premier League, and basically turned to be a huge flop show. And then we had to play Fabregas, Kante in the middle of the pitch instead of Matic or Bakayoko. So I think keeping Jorginho at the club and at the same time getting another DM and four of them coexisting, it's probably a bit harsh on Gilmore, I think, but I think four of them could definitely coexist 100%, and I hope we do that as well. Not sure about the new contract stuff, let's wait and see, but I definitely think we shouldn't sell Jorginho this window at all, at any cost.
No, 100%. I got so much flacking in social media in recent days because I tweeted something which goes and I think it was, definitely misunderstood by a lot. What I was trying to say is that I don't want Jorginho to leave. 100% don't want Jorginho to leave. I think I mentioned this to you guys last week, and off the back of that, I then tweeted that out. I said that I don't want him to leave, but if the club ever thought about, let's say, selling, this is probably the best time because of his value being the champions of Europe and whatnot. But I specifically said I don't want him to leave. So many people took that tweet and started saying, "Oh my God, this guy, he's another Jorginho hater." And I'm like, have you not seen the amount of praise I've been making for Jorginho on my channel, on my Twitter page? It's crazy, man. Social media sometimes, man. Honestly, it's so difficult to start a conversation. But as you boys said,
with him, I can't. Another reason I can't see him leaving, even just for fee-wise, I don't think anyone would pay anywhere near what we'd be looking for.
But I think Lazio would. I think Sarri would. Sarri brought him in for 57 million.
Yeah, but how much would you get for him? What do you think you'd get?
Well, now there's only 2 more years left. He'd at least go for 35, and that would still make up the money.
I think it'd go for about 30. But the thing is, even like Marina, with buying him from 55, she wouldn't want to let him go for less than that, which is like no one is going to go anywhere near that level.
Bro, Sarri, man, he loves this player. The whole style depends on this. We bought him for Sarri. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like Lazio aren't going to splash that on a player. They never do. So,
bro, they may just do it for the one player. Do you know what I mean? For the one only. I'm being serious, bro. They may. A lot of people say that they don't have the funds or whatnot. They may not have the funds to buy 5 or 6, but they may just have the fund to buy one for about 40 mil, let's just say. Do you know what I mean? But look, I mean, this is just hypotheticals, man, honestly.
Yeah, speculating.
Speculating. At the end of the day, we all want him to stay. All right, Ameya, next topic. Ethan Ampadu. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, man. It seems like he's a forgotten player. I don't think he started for Wales. He came in right at the end, probably like 93rd or something minute, just to shore up the game, making sure that they get a point out of that against Switzerland. Not really the greatest loan either for Sheffield United, which was a tough season for Sheffield United. They got relegated. And he played as a left CB in a back three. And not always was he starting either. I mean, what's going on, man? I feel like, I don't know, man. There was a point where I was like, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of skill for this player. And You know, he could be that holding midfielder. He could fit in defense as well. But I'm starting to think maybe it's probably wise to just part ways and let him just find a home where he can be settled. And because I think he's desperate to play for Chelsea as well. He was very disheartened to go to a loan last season. I still remember, man, that interview, the first interview when he went to Sheffield United. He was like, "Yeah, I'm here again, loan. Yeah, whoa, yay." And you know what I mean? Like, well, what's your thoughts, man? What's going on with Ampadu?
I think the loan move didn't really work out, right? I mean, you look at Gallagher, he was also at a team that got relegated, but I think he caught a lot of eyes, right? I think so many
Yeah.
Chelsea fans were big up in Gallagher as well. But at the same time, Ampadu, I don't think it's the move just hasn't worked out for him. I think when Chris Wilder first came in, I remember him explicitly saying that he sees Ampadu more as a midfielder. But then later on, he started playing him. He played in the middle of the back three and then the left as well. So he was basically being chucked around everywhere whenever they needed a. You know, they had a couple of injuries to key defenders, and that he just got chucked in wherever the defenders were meant to play. So I don't think it aided his development at all. And he's really good player. And I remember him, you know, under Conte as well. He was such a good player. He used to play in the middle of the back three. He came on for David Luiz, and I remember he had the same sort of long, weird sort of hairstyle as well. So yeah, I think he's a good player, and I definitely think there's a good player in there somewhere. And he's young as well. He's definitely got age on his side. He just needs a right kind of loan, and I don't know if he'll be given playing time at Chelsea next season.
Ameya, he's gone to Leipzig, which was under Nagelsmann. We all thought, wow, he's going to learn a lot. Now he's gone to then he went to Sheffield United. Even Chris Wilder is not a bad coach at all. He's very technical. I don't know. This is two spots where he's barely, you know, broke in. He was just basically fitting in wherever. I'm starting to think, is he really that good? I know he's young. We've all know he's young and he needs time, but what's the point of going to a loan where you're not going to play and we don't know? That's why I'm starting to think, you know, is he training well? Is the mentality good enough? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's obviously questionable, but at the same time, I think that he just needs that one loan to click somewhere, right? Because that's what we saw, especially with Mason Mount, Reece James, Christensen as well. You need that one loan somewhere for it to click and then excel in that one season. It's the same thing with Gahey as well. He was so good at Swansea and it just clicked, and all the Swansea fans love him as well, and he's touted as one of the best defenders in the Championship. He needs that one loan where everything just clicks and everything just comes together, and then it really aids his development. And once he becomes one of the most important players for that team or something like that, and then when he comes back to Chelsea, then I definitely think that Chelsea will be looking at him going like, you know what, I think I'd be open to give you a shot. But it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. And Tuchel, of course, great comment there. I think definitely he'll be back for pre-season training at least at Chelsea. I don't see him, just being cast out and just being sent out on loan. I think he will come back for pre-season training, and then when Thomas Tuchel can get a good look at him, and then maybe he decides whether it's best for him to go out on loan or to stick at the club. But I hope if he does go on loan, he finds a good spot, and it doesn't matter where the club is. It doesn't matter how the club is or anything. He just has to find his feet. He just has to find his confidence, and he has to become an important player there. And then he will definitely be given a shot at Chelsea, 100%.
Yeah, man. Kishan, what's your thoughts? This commentary from Rafa is really good. We must give him a chance at least under Thomas Tuchel. He can develop him, and also he will suit the back three, which is true. And then he goes on, there's another comment I'll just quickly bring up. He goes on to say that my man literally dropped man of the match performance versus Tottenham. We all seen that match. That was amazing for Leipzig. I believe it was last season as well. I'm pretty sure it was last season. Yeah, it was last season.
It was.
But Kishan, I find it very difficult how he breaks into this Chelsea team. Like Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Zuma. Unless Zuma goes, and also if Rudiger doesn't sign the contract extension, let's just say for argument's sake, I don't know how he makes it now with Gahey in the ranks as well. He's caught a lot of people's eyes. What's your thoughts about this matter?
Yeah, this is the thing I think Ameya means, where if Ampadu went down to the Championship, you could kind of see him doing the same thing that Gahey did at somewhere like a Swansea. But the thing with Ethan Ampadu, which has probably been bad for him, is that we've always seen him at such a high level, and even the club has, because even in Europa League games under Sarri. He was playing. So it was clear that out of the academy people that he was one of those that would eventually be in line to break through. And that's why they gave him such high quality loans, such as Leipzig. And he didn't play a lot at Leipzig, but like Rafe said, he was man of the match against Tottenham. So it does show he's got that level in him. But when you look at the reason he wasn't playing at Leipzig and the kind of centre-backs that they've got, they're all moving on now. So your Upamecano's and your Konate. So over the past few years, they must have shown something. So the Ampadu would have found it really hard to get game time. It's just, with the current crop, we've just become Champions League winners, and then you're saying that a player who was playing for Sheffield United
will break through,
try to get a. It don't make sense, and it's like this with a lot of our loan kids, because it's not like we're at that level where if Frank was our manager and we just got top 4 and we're looking to integrate more kids in, or we've got transfer ban, then fair enough. Yeah,
if we've got another transfer ban.
Yeah, but we've literally just won the Champions League. You see the kind of players we're getting linked to in each and every position, and it's going to be really difficult for him to break through. I'm not against him breaking through. I'm not against him having a full preseason to show what he's worth, all of that, and I hope he does do well. But from our point, when you just look at what we have already, it's going to be really, really hard, and he's going to have to do something to blow Tuchel out to actually even be in the squad with us next season.
Quick question for both of you guys. I'll go to Ameya first up. Would you consider selling him and cashing in on him?
No, definitely not. I think definitely not. Probably a loan at the worst, but I don't want to sell him just yet. Or maybe a buyback clause or something like that. But I definitely don't want to just get him off my books entirely just yet. I mean, it's too soon for that. It's just too soon. He's what, 20?
You know what? You can't keep everyone though, Mia. Gihi is just around the corner as well. He's going to knock on the door that, hey, Chelsea, I want to play too. Christensen only plays when Silva's injured or there's rotation. Zuma, he's been touted to leave. So, I mean, what do you do?
I think it's just survival of the fittest at this point. Just show the manager why you deserve to be there, if you deserve to be there. And if you do, then fair enough for you. If you don't, I think that's you on your way out.
Kishan, this comment here from Timothy. I'm sorry, if you can't break into that dead Sheffield team, questions need to be asked. Kishan, what's your thoughts? Is it time to cash in?
He was in that dead Sheffield team, so he did break through. It wasn't that he was struggling. It was just it's when a team plays bad, it makes you hard to look good. But like Ameya said, Conor Gallagher still looked good in that West Brom team. And Ampadu, it's like when you're a central defender and your team is letting in 4 or 5 goals, sometimes it's not your fault, but it just looks really bad on you.
Yeah.
But I'd stick with Ameya and say we shouldn't sell him. And I'm looking at a financial standpoint as well, because like Ameya said, if you go on one good loan and you do well, your price instantly shoots up. And this is the same thing with Conor Gallagher. When we saw that 15 million pound thing with Palace, I wouldn't sell him for 15. I think 15 million is more than fair for the level he is at right now. But you look at someone like Arsenal and Joe Willock, he would have been similar to 15, 20 million. And then he goes on
he'd go at least 30 million now.
Yeah, he goes on that Newcastle loan and he does what he does. Ampadu has got talent, and if he can show it somewhere, we'd get so much more money than we could get for him right now. So I would be against selling him as well.
Where would you send? I think we can all agree it'll probably be a loan again. Where would you guys send Kishan? Your thoughts? We Championship or Premier League team? I feel like if it's another Premier League, he'll be shafted around. I feel like go Championship so that you're noticed.
He could, but I can't see. It's not even an ego thing, but it is an ego thing, not in a bad way, because I would be similar. When I've had a Premier League loan and I've actually been playing and you're trying to send me to the Championship, I'd think, I've just played in the Premier League, so I know I can. I would look at these kind of teams that have come up, and a lot of them do play good football. So your Norwiches or even Brentford do play.
Brentford, that's a London club as well. So
yeah, it would. I think Norwich could be a really good one for him.
No, fair enough.
So one of those.
I would ask Ameya that, but then I thought, let's move on to the next topic, which is, by the way, Alex, I have noticed your comment about England. We will talk about that, Mason Mount. We're keeping the best one for the last. Ameya, we'll talk about another player, Conor Gallagher, as Kishan's already mentioned. 15 million touted for Crystal Palace. I mean, this is what, the stark contrast to what Ampadu's loan move didn't work that well. Conor Gallagher's one has worked, and there's rumours, perhaps, maybe Frank Lampard to Crystal Palace. I think that might have died down. There is some other particular candidate now. Maybe it's still on. I don't know. But Conor Gallagher is probably very much a Frank Lampard-esque type of player that he wants, sort of like a Mason Mount workhorse. Pretty much can play anywhere in midfield. Maybe slowly under Frank Lampard can get some goals as well if that was to happen. If he went to Crystal Palace, but 15 million, I think that's a bit cheap after what sort of performance that he put on for West Brom. He was probably one of their main players. But he's one player that I would cash in, because I honestly, if we are having doubts about Ampadu, how he could, gets into this team, there's no way Conor Gallagher is making it to this team. That midfield is just chock-a-blocks, and Mason Mount is there for the rest, for another 10 years, hopefully, touch wood that doesn't get any injuries and whatnot. But then there's so many players in that midfield already. Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic. We're looking to get someone. Billy Gilmore barely gets any games. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is still there and whatnot. So, I mean, is this probably fair that we're trying to cash in on Conor Gallagher?
I don't think we should just yet, though. I think
probably... Ameya loves it. Ameya loves it. All these players. He wants to keep them all.
I do. I genuinely do. But I know that it's not possible, right? Which is why it hurts me, because I love the academy guys so much. And, it's just with Gallagher, he's a very good player. He's I know that he was probably pretty good at West Brom as well. Like you mentioned, one of their more important players for sure. But I think he still has a long way to go, and you never know with these sort of players. You look at Mason Mount now and you look at Mason Mount's Derby loan 2 years ago. Do you think he would be where he is now? Definitely not, right? So I think the development all depends. A lot of factors go into the development of a player, and you never know. Like you can't find a player who you can say for sure like he's going to become the next big thing, or he's probably not going to achieve anything.
Do you want to keep Angelin as well? Do you want to keep Angelin?
No, I think Angelin probably alone. Everyone loan, man. Just loan everyone out.
By the way, there's a limit for loans.
Yeah, but I think that's only for above 20. The loan is applicable only for players above the age of 21. So I think if it's below 21, it doesn't count. So I think it's not included in the quota. So I'd be fairly happy to send all of these kids out on loan. But I think 15 million is too low for someone like Gallagher right now. I think you give him a good season and you can easily slap a 30 million price tag on his head. And he has age on his side as well. So I think we'll see. But definitely not selling him this window outright.
I'd say for this window, 15 million is very fair, because even at West Brom, he was very steady. I don't think he set the world alight anytime.
True, but I think we're trying to put a price on the potential.
Yeah, for sure. Then, that's why I say keep him and loan him as well with Ameya. The thing is, like you said, there's Angerin after, then there's Lewis Bate in there as well.
Livermento he doesn't want to sign a new contract.
At least Livermento is a wing back. I'm talking about just central midfielders. We're not even including Billy is in there. So there's way too many. But the ones that I'd let go of this season is I'd carry on loaning all the young kids, and I'd let go of Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek this season.
Oh, bro,
those for me are done. Yeah.
Ross the boss, bro. Ross the boss. He's got to go. He has to go. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is another one. But yeah, man, that's interesting. All right. Let's talk about the next and the most important topic that the live chat is wanting us to talk about. Smash the like button, first of all. Live chat, nearly 45 people on, close to 50. Please smash the like button. It helps the channel out a lot, helps the video out a lot. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And the boys, their socials are in the description. Go out there and follow them. Now, Kishan, the news is out from David Ornstein, I think. And he's stated that only one Chelsea player is probably looking to start. That is Mason Mount, undoubtedly. It was always going to be. I mean, he's just in a phenomenal form, and he plays for every coach out there. But Trippier is favoured on the left back, and Kyle Walker in the right back position. So obviously we've got Chilwell and Reece James. I mean, let's talk about. Firstly, let's talk about this whole Southgate thing and the amount of talent that England has. Because in that article that Athletic came out, it also said that Grealish is probably not going to start. It's probably going to be Sterling and Foden and Mason Mount and then Kane up top. How's Sterling starting ahead of Grealish when Sterling literally was getting benched left, right, and centre by Pep Guardiola? There's even rumours that Sterling is probably going to be sold in this particular market so that they can get Grealish. Do you know what I mean? So what's going on, man? Talk to me about this whole... I mean, at the end of the day, you back England, right? I mean, yeah, there you go. So you back England. I don't back England. I back Germany. I'm not sure. I mean, who do you back in international level?
I'm a bit of a fakey when it comes there. We'll talk about it later.
All right, fair enough. All right, fakey. I'm intrigued now. I'm very intrigued. But yeah, Kishan, yeah, like, talk to me about the whole Southgate's, lineup and the plethora of talent that he has, and he's Trippier as a left back. What's going on?
That's the one position I don't really understand, where you've got Chilwell, who's just won the Champions League. You've got Luke Shaw, who's had a brilliant season. So if it was like Shaw over Chilwell, you still understand. You'd think, okay, Shaw's had a good season. Even Saka can play left back, but he's picked the right-footed guy. I don't understand. Like, you've got so many options there, and like, why did you? I don't even understand why. I get why Trippier is there, but he shouldn't. He should even make the right back spot, and he's the left back. You're making him play inverted. For what reason? Like, you have literal left backs there. It's not like everyone's injured. The other thing is with the Sterling Grealish thing. I think obviously I'd rather have Grealish start, but the one thing that I'll give him props for is it's kind of like, when we don't play Timo Werner and you don't have that threat over the top. But if you have Grealish, Mount, and Foden, I feel like all the players want the ball to feet. So one thing with Sterling, he does have the over-the-top threat.
So you're talking about the balance. You're talking about the balance.
With the balance, yeah. Like, if you put it on performances, he doesn't deserve to be there. Same with Rashford. But just purely on balance, I don't look into it that much. I'm like everyone else in terms of wanting Grealish there. I'm tired of seeing some of the same players at tournaments. Whereas Sterling, we've seen him at the World Cup 14, then 16, then 18, and he's just not seen him do that much. Even last time in the World Cup, he went in great form and he was so poor. So I feel like I've had enough of him in that context. But in terms of actual balance, I'm not that mad at it. But I do want to see Grealish come on from the bench then. But apart from that, I'm really annoyed that we're not seeing more Chelsea boys, because we're the literal Champions League winners. And Kyle Walker's a weird one because you can't really argue against it, but I still think Reece James will provide more threat going up with his crosses in for Kane, stuff like that. Apart from that, centre-backs is another thing. Tyrone Mings, has he really shown anything that he should be there? If anything, he looks really dodgy when we play him.
Yeah.
That's another one. Who's the goalkeeper? Did they say the goalkeeper, by the way?
Pickford.
It's Pickford.
It's expected, but it's another one that I'm mad at. Like,
you're not very thrilled, bro. You're not thrilled at all.
That's the thing. When you look at us play under Southgate as well, it was like, honestly, it feels like, those last few weeks under Lampard where we're up against Leicester and you just don't know who to pass to, which players should be where. It's literally like that, which annoys me so much, because if we had a proper manager, we should be winning this thing. It's really annoying. But there's no cohesion.
Exactly, absolutely no cohesion. Before I go to Ameya, by the way, is it going to be 3 at the back? I was under the impression England's playing 3 at the back, or is it back to 4 at the back?
They should be, but this is 4, because I'm pretty sure every game for the last few years since the World Cup, they played 5 at the back, and then right before a tournament, bam, you go back to 4. But we'll see, because with the kind of players we got, I do think it's better if we play a 4 and get as many attacking guys in there, because we've got really good attackers.
No, of course, man. Ameya, Croatia. We got another boy there, Matija Kovacic. Do you know what I mean? And another ex-Chelsea. I don't think he's ever played for Chelsea. I could be wrong. Mario Pasalic. He was another one that's been loaned around, and he's become a very good player at Atalanta. I've actually seen a couple of matches of Atalanta in the Champions League. He's a very, very good player. Obviously, they've got Modric, Perisic,
Brozovic as well.
Brozovic. You know what? Croatia ain't gonna be a walk in the park, and the way Southgate's moving mad with the lineup that he's got going. I mean, I know every team needs to have a balance. I mean, they do have. You can't have every superstar there. You got to have a good balance. But how can you not play Chilwell or Reece? Like these guys are proper, like they're Champions League winners. They've got that confidence oozing. You'd want to seep in on that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I would be doing. Like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. I think 100% when a player is confident, when he's playing at his level best, you should be getting the most you can out of him. And that's what he should have done, especially with our fullbacks. And the whole Trippier situation, I think Kishan summed it up perfectly. I don't know what was going through his head when he decided that. Walker as well. I think Walker is very effective as a right centre-back in a back three, but as the only right back, I'm not too sure about how good he is, he's very fast, but he doesn't utilize that effectively. So it's a weird one. And the midfield as well. I saw he's playing Calvin Phillips and Rice. I don't know what was going through his mind.
I feel like they're
the deepest players,
and both of them are similar to each other.
Yeah,
why not
exactly.
have like a Declan Rice with who's another
Henderson.
one that they Henderson or something?
Jude.
Oh, but he's injured. Jude Bellingham. Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is, I'm not too mad at that because you got to remember, Croatia are a good team. So I do get two holding midfielders because last week when Jude played with Declan Rice, he was running up so much and Rice was literally alone where you think, okay, now fair enough. I do get why he's played two. My only thing is, when I looked at the squad, I was so happy because I thought, yes, we don't have to see as much of this group of has-beens before. And now I just look at the first lineup that he's put out, and it's like, there's so many surviving has-beens. And I'm just like, this was supposed to be the year where we brought all these kids together and had a real shot with you only got Kane up top because he has to stay and a few others. But it seems like so much of that bulk of that 2018 squad is still there. Your right back, your left back, your goalkeeper. It's annoying. We should be a completely fresh team with this fresh enthusiasm of players who have been playing well.
And it should be like a team that should be evolving. And Ameya, I'm pretty sure, I remember in the World Cup, Croatia beat England. I'm pretty sure it was in the semi-finals or...
Yeah, semi-finals.
Semi-finals. So, I mean, I don't know. Look, I haven't followed Croatia, so I'm not really sure what they're doing, but they've got some absolute ballers in that team. And when it comes to a national squad, these guys are in a different level. The way they play, they just.
I'm looking forward to Kovacic getting on the ball and trying to drive, and Mason Mount trying to tackle him. That kind of Chelsea link.
And you know what? Honestly, I want to see how Kovacic just drives straight through Declan Rice, and I want to see what happens in the timeline after that because.
It's going to be carnage.
That's why I can't wait to watch this game. Look, as I said, I always appreciate Declan Rice. I really do what he's done. But I just can't stand sometimes how a fan base are in love with this player, unbelievably, and they don't praise some of our own. They praise Declan Rice to get out of the way, gets out of the way and praises him. So, yeah, Emil, I mean, in summary, do you think this is going to be an easy match, or do you see I don't even know if I can call it an upset. Would that be an upset, Ameya? If Croatia
It genuinely wouldn't. I mean, honestly,
Ameya,
it's more even
England,
than more guys say.
Ameya, England have never won their opening game at Euros previously. So if that factor added on to the fact that it's Croatia who beat us in the World Cup, it's so 50-50 this game.
Exactly. But you know what? I think it's 4D chess from Gareth Southgate here because you have to finish second in your group and not first. So he's like, you know what, Croatia, go on, lads, finish first. And then play, France or Portugal or Germany or whoever.
That could be a policy.
It is at Wembley as well.
It is. So I think
Yeah, the record's not that great, right? The record is not that great, I'm pretty sure, at Wembley.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, could
so.
be wrong, but yeah.
I think it's 4D chess from Gareth Southgate, but let's see how it goes.
Absolutely, man. From a Chelsea perspective, hopefully Mason Mount does really well. As I said, I'm not an English fan. I follow Germany, so I would love to see England lose. Hopefully Mason does well. Hopefully the lads, Chilwell reach. I don't think if Trippier is starting, I don't see how Chilwell starts. You don't bring in a left back. Do you know what I mean? And unless there's like an injury or something like that, and I don't wish for injury for anyone. Reece James could possibly start, I suppose. I'm not start as in.
Trippier is set pieces. Actually, do you think Trippier starting because of set pieces?
He scored the goal against Croatia in the semi-final.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the free kick. Yeah. Oh my days. Do you reckon Southgate's just emulating? Maybe it will happen again. Oh, that's interesting, man. But yeah, Reece James, I mean, if you're not starting, I don't know. He could probably come off the bench. We've seen Reece sort of come.
We've got 5 subs as well, by the way. So it's like a lot of the squad can be used.
No, 100%, man. The other thing I want to talk about, obviously, Mason Mount, more praise. Ameya, I'll go to you this time. Mr. Mbappe, obviously, we touched on a little bit with the Giroud thing recently. He's come out in the interview, asked 3 players that you want to know, and one of them was Mason Mount. He said he's a superb player and would like to know a little bit more about Mason Mount. Would like to see his interview. I mean, is Mason Mount's getting known all over the world at the moment? People, was it Jose recently as well that praised Mason? I think in a recent interview, or was it in TalkSport? I can't remember. So, man, Mason is getting some praise all over the place.
It's a brand. I mean, his name is now a brand. It genuinely is. I think you talk about like Mbappe and Haaland, and now it's Mason Mount, right? Like
True.
say his name,
I can't disagree.
Yeah. Like there's so many of these young players. Like you never know them, or like they have a good season and then just suddenly dip. But he's not like that. He has a brand now. He has value. Like his name carries value at this point, and it's great to see so many players from other leagues as well. Usually you would think that he used to get praise only from like English pundits and stuff like that, but then now it's great to see that other basically other leagues are also the players from other leagues also are taking note of him. And of course we won the Champions League, everyone has to take note of us, but it's great to see that he's now becoming a brand, and hopefully he can build on that, and we can have our own best young player in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Kishan, man. Mason Mount. I'm not sure if you see. I think it might have been in TalkSport where Jose said this, or might have been another place recently. And he's praised Mason Mount heavily. Now, Mbappe is another one going out. Look, these are big players that are starting to talk about Mason Mount quite regularly. And we've seen it all throughout. You guys would have been part of my channel. You would have seen many opposition fans that I bring in. The one person, as soon as I say Mason Mount, the most scary one for them. So, what's your thoughts, man? Mason, he is literally going right to the top.
He's probably already there, to be honest. It's like the thing is, you don't get that many players, like English players, who on the top stage. Like since Lampard and Gerrard have gone from central midfield on the bigger stage, like a Champions League final, I feel like there's not Henderson. You could say, but it's like Mount's more dynamic. Like when he's involved in the attacking play, he literally assisted the winning goal. And this is whilst he's 22, so he's going to improve massively. I think what Mourinho was saying is that he watched Mount in the game where we lost 4-0 against United at Old Trafford, and he thought he's a good player, but when will he learn like tactical discipline and all that? And he goes, he learned it really, really quick. So. Yeah, with him and then with Mbappe, your other players, because I didn't really think Mount had that about him last season, where if you were playing him, the opposition would be scared or really take that much notice of him. This season, he's come up against other sort of star players like João Felix, and he's left him on the floor, Camavinga.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's just he's
a Real Madrid players as well. Like he's literally taking care of Casemiro.
yeah, initially it was at that point where he was like one of those youngsters then who took care of the youngsters. Then it came to a point where he's playing Real and he's up against his idol in Modric, and because he talked about playing against Modric was very weird because he's watched him on TV all of these years, and then you've got to say he pretty much dominated that midfield as well. So
For sure.
he's right up there. And like when you play for Chelsea and you have him on your team, he gives you so much confidence going into a final because you just know what you're going to get. That passion and desire, like Ameya likes, and we laugh about. But you need it. You need that, and you need his like. He's just brilliant all round, and like to have him for England as well as like Chelsea, it just makes it whole. Like it's just a different angle on the game having all these Chelsea boys, especially him, because when you have it adds to it. When like last time, I feel like we had too many Tottenham players, and you still support England, but it's a bit weird. When you have that your own Chelsea players in there, it adds that extra. I just want Mount to do really well today. Like, if I see Foden score, I'll be happy. But I want Mount to take the stage and to bring it home. And this is the first batch since we've had that sort of Gerrard Lampard players where I think I look at the team and I think you can actually do something.
Yeah, 100, man. Rafa has put on a really good comment here. Just imagine Mount and Haaland, 100%. Just imagine Mount and Kane. I really want to see this. I want to see how Mount and Kane link up.
Mount will get better at that sort of intricate passing. And I think like over the next few seasons, he'll get a lot of assists direct for the striker.
This season, we've already started seeing. Do you remember that Fulham game? How he just laid it off nicely for Kai Havertz?
Yeah, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that.
And there was another one where he put outside of his not outside with his left foot, where he swings it in deep for Timo Werner. I think it might have been against. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, Timo Werner. He
Champions League final goal, Miz.
The Champions League final, but yeah, he's brilliant. And there was one for Lille, how he did the long pass for Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
So look, man, I mean
the England squad is out, and I'm sorry to intervene, but Chilwell's not even on the bench, and Sancho isn't even in the match day squad.
Wow, what are you doing? Share screen, bro.
Team is exactly how the Athletic reported it, though. Like the starting lineup.
Let's just bring that up before we go, because that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
If you can just go on Twitter, I think the England official account has tweeted it as well. I'm seeing it on my phone, so yeah.
Okay, let me try and bring this up.
If not, Miz, if you go on Flash Scores, the website will be on there.
I'm on the England official Twitter page. Where is it, bro?
Yeah.
It's Team Sheet. Team Sheet.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, how quick was that? I thought the match, they do this an hour.
I think it's an hour and 15 minutes.
The Athletic had this lineup at 9:15.
I just thought that maybe they got it wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lineup. Looks like
look whose photos there.
Mason, bro, representing. What is Chelsea carrying England, bro? Chelsea's carrying England. There you go.
He carries brand value.
Jordan Pickford, Kyle Walker, Declan Rice, John Stones, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Kieran Trippier, Calvin Phillips, Tyrone Mings, Mason Mount, Phil Foden. So yeah, as you said, Kishan, that he had it since yesterday. So I'm not sure how much of a secret this is. So it's a four at the back. So it'll be Jordan Pickford, Kyle Walker right back, Stones and Mings in the middle, Kieran Trippier on the left, Phillips and Rice in the double pivot, Raheem Sterling, Foden, Mount, and Harry Kane. So Mount as a 10, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Wow. Live chat, there you go. That's the English team.
Liam from the live chat was asking about fantasy leagues and if anyone's got them. So I guess if anyone's got them, just post the codes and like whoever wants to join can join them.
Liam, sorry, man, I'm not doing the fantasy league. It's just too much, man. I love doing the EPL, but yeah, if any of the lads are doing it, please just put the code. That way Liam can join in. But yeah,
Croatia.
Ameya, what were you going to say?
Croatia's lineup is in as well. It's actually a pretty strong lineup, Not gonna
But
lie. They've
let's
got-
look at this. Let's look at this. I want to get gassed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that. They've got Vasalko as well, who's a very good right
Yeah.
back. They've got Chaleta Sar, who's I've been raving about him for a couple of
But
years
what's
now.
going on
Hopefully
here?
someone
I went to the Croatian official page and there was balloons. Is it their happy birthday today? Yeah, today is their birthday. There was like balloons flying around. I might as well say happy birthday to them. What's
Yep.
going on here? Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
Can barely make that out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
I've got it up anyway. Yeah. It's all
yeah.
good.
Even I've got it up anyway. So
Perisic, big game player. I
Perisic,
love that guy.
Ante Rebic is a great.
Can you guys see
player
the
as well.
balloons?
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, oh, man, I wish I could. Why can't I? Come on, man. What? Why is it minus? Anyways, it is what it is. I can't mess around with this anymore. So they've got Livakovic. I have no idea who that goalkeeper is. Vardiol, another one I don't know.
It's
This is
Vasalko.
entertaining.
Yeah, Vida I might have heard. I don't know.
Guardiola is a FIFA legend, mate. He's an absolute FIFA legend. If you guys play career mode, he is a beast in career mode. I'll tell you that. Let's see how he plays in real life. This is the first time I'm going to be watching him live.
Vasalko is someone I've heard of. Modric, obviously. Brozovic, yes. Kovacic, man, that midfield is wow. Good luck, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips.
Their team is one team. Their team seems like it's been so similar for years now, though. Like Vida, that guy has been there for tournaments now.
Exactly, bro. It's like they don't get old either, man. Like they just keep like I don't even know if they have any backups. That's why they just continue playing. Perisic, Rebic, and Kramaric. Man, I know Rebic and Perisic. Kramaric, I'm not really sure if I've seen too much of him, but Rebic and Perisic are very good. Isn't Rebic the one that knocked out Tottenham in the Europa? Was it Rebic? Or was it someone else?
No,
could be
that
wrong.
was
someone else.
Orsic.
Oh, that was someone else. I said that was someone else. But yeah, man, far out. That looks like a pretty good team, man. Half the players I didn't know how to pronounce. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. We'll be watching the England-Croatia game and most likely we'll do a review. So if you're interested, straight after the game, pop down. We'll do a review. I'm very interested to see how Mason Mount plays. That's the main reason for the review. If you guys are keen, do tune in after the match. But hope you guys have enjoyed this particular show of the Chelsea News. Thank you so much for joining. Smash the like button before you go. Don't be stingy on the likes. Please smash the like buttons. Helps the channel out a lot. Helps the video out a lot. And before you go as well, please check out the panelists, their socials in the description right now. Go out and follow them. And the lads, you're going to be watching, right? Kishan, you're watching the game for sure, 100%.
For sure, yeah. Have to.
Ameya, you're watching as well, yeah?
Yep.
Brilliant. All right, guys, take care. And until next time, see ya.